Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I will be filming a Q&A plan with me in my Erin Condren. It has been forever since I have filmed in this planner, so I thought it would be fun to ease back into filming in my Erin Condren by doing a Q&A. Before I get into the questions though, I wanted to quickly flip through these spreads that I haven't filmed. So I wasn't really in the mood to film and I didn't really have the energy to curate the videos, so these are the spreads that I ended up not filming. In this planner I mostly just put in highlights from my day. I don't put in to-dos unless it was a big part of my day, and if I have photos I'll sometimes put those in. I don't have any for this week because I completely blanked out on taking any photos, but yeah. The kit that I am using is from PaperAndGumption, and that is a printable shop. PaperAndGumption is one of my favorite printable shops to go to for kits that you sort of just want instantly. I really like the designs and the format of the sheets that she offers, and also she offers cut files. So if you have a silhouette machine, you can go ahead and download the cut file versions and just use your silhouette to cut those stickers out, which is what I prefer. But she does also offer, I think, JPEG files, so if you don't have a silhouette you can just cut those out by hand. But yeah, I also have some Simply Gilded washi and a whole bunch of stickers off to the side. I think that is pretty much it. Because I will be answering questions, I most likely won't touch on anything that I'm doing throughout the video unless I finish my questions early. So if you are curious about any sticker, they will be listed in the description box, but if you want to know where a specific sticker is from, then just ask in the comments and I will try my best to figure out which one it is for you. I mostly just use the same stickers, so most of the things you will be able to recognize if you have been constantly watching my Plan With Me's. But anyways, on to the questions. Or before I do that, I wanted to quickly mention this before I forgot. I did change up the speed of the video, so it's a little bit slower than what I would do normally, and let me know if you prefer this speed over to what I had before. Before it was a little bit faster and the videos were a whole lot shorter, but if you prefer the speed of this video and the length, please let me know, because if you guys like this then I'll continue doing it at the speed time and everything. So yeah, okay, so on to the questions. I'm going to go through Facebook first and then go on to Instagram, and I'm just going to keep going until I finish all my questions or until the video ends. So yeah, my first question is, do you use a habit tracker consistently? If so, how do you stick with it? So I do use a habit tracker quite consistently, but I do it in my bullet journal. I used to track my habits on a weekly basis before, in the sidebar of my Erin Condren, but that just wasn't working out for me. I would be very limited to the habits that I wanted to track, and sometimes I would just forget that I had habits that I needed to track and do. So I found that doing it as a monthly spread in my bullet journal helps a lot, because all of my habits are on one page. I have all the things that I want to track on that page, and if I leave it blank, I feel a little bit off. So at the end of each day, I just go through and quickly color in the space that I've left for that habit, and I just found that works really well for me. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Next question is cats or dogs? So I am half and half, because I absolutely adore cats. I've had a cat before. If I was presented with a cat to take in, I would definitely take a cat. But I also like dogs too, so that's why it's a bit of a half and half. Only thing is I do get a little bit nervous around dogs, but it's because I haven't grown up around dogs, so because I'm not used to them, I get a little bit nervous around them and everything. But yeah, also totally side note, I really want a Samoyed puppy in the future. So that is mostly why I am half and half, because I would like to have a puppy as my next animal companion, and I would absolutely love to have a Samoyed. So yeah. Next question is summer or winter? Definitely winter. I don't like the summer. I hate the heat. I love winter and cold air and just like cold weather in general. It's because I don't like sweating. That's mostly the reason why. But I don't know, everything just feels a lot more cozy during winter time. So definitely winter. I would prefer to live in maybe not eternal winter, but very cold weather for most of the year. Next question is why sheep? And that is actually a very interesting question. There is a little bit of a story behind how I ended up choosing sheep as the character for my shop. Also, while I'm speaking about that, I just showed you the February sampler, and there is a sheep on there that looks like a little ball and has wings, and that was the first ever sheep I created for the shop. Total side note. But when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my shop, once I was getting a little bit more serious about opening up, I was playing around with shop names and everything, and I ended up deciding on FlyingSheepStickers. Then after that, I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to go with clip art or do everything hand drawn, and I decided to go with the hand drawn route. Then after that, I was trying to figure out a character that was easy and simple to draw, but also was neutral and cute. So I was trying to figure something out, and I decided to go with the little play of the shop name. So I decided to have sheep as my character for the shop because they're very neutral characters. They're mostly just white with a little bit of color, and this is adorable. I actually never used to really like sheep, not because I hated them, I was just indifferent towards them, but now I am totally obsessed with sheep. Like, I adore sheep now. Anything sheep, it has like become a part of my identity because of the fact that I decided to have sheep as my shop character. Hopefully that answered that question, but yeah. Next question is, what is my favorite color? My favorite color is purple. It's always been purple. I haven't really strayed from any of the other colors. Any shade of purple is like my jam, unless it's like there's like that type of purple that's very, very bright. I think it's like an orchid purple. I don't mind it that much, but I prefer like the more like lilac, lavender purples and deep purples. What is my favorite food or drink? And that is such a hard question to answer because I'm such a foodie. Okay, so let me think. My favorite drink is green tea lattes from Starbucks, for sure. If I had to pick like a non-water drink, that would be my favorite drink. And my favorite food. I have too many foods that I like to eat. I would say this is more like a breakfast food, or like a brunch type of food, maybe, I don't know. But toast with a steamed egg with a like layer of ham and sriracha. I don't know, there's something about it that is very yummy, and so I would probably pick that as my favorite food. So yeah, I'm starting to salivate from thinking about that. Okay, next question is my 2018 planning system. So for my planning system for this year, I am using my bullet journal, which is my Nuno notebook. I think it's the large size, but it's, I think, A5 sized. And Erin Condren Life Planner as my memory planner. So for my bullet journal, I use that as a functional planner. So I put my to-dos, my appointments, scheduling things. I will most likely use it for school as well. Things that I want to track, finance, all of that stuff I do in my bullet journal. Also shop related things too in my bullet journal. And then my Erin Condren is my memory planner, so highlights of my day, memories, photos, my little favorite things that I did throughout the month, stuff like that. So that is what I am using for this year. I've been considering trying out ATN, but I'm not really too sure. I've been testing out a insert, but I haven't really been keeping up with it. So I probably won't do that, but I've been dabbling into TNs. Mostly just TN inserts. But yeah. Okay. Next question. Will you do a full no white space spread, I'm assuming? And most likely not. I have tried to do no white space planning or a no white space spread before when I was first getting into planning and experimenting with what I liked and what I didn't like. I did try out no white space spreads, and it wasn't my favorite, but I didn't really hate it either. But I really like having white space. I feel like the stickers have a little bit more space to breathe, and to me they don't feel so cluttered and overwhelming to look at. But yeah, maybe I might try doing a no white space spread if you would like to see that. And my attempt at that again, let me know in the comments and I might do like a spread, but most likely not. Okay, next one. If you were stuck on a desert island, what would you have to have with you? And I don't know. I don't know that answer. I feel like I would try to say something very useful, like some sort of emergency kit. But if I'm being completely honest, I really don't know what I would absolutely have to have. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Probably some sort of emergency kit, like a first aid kit. If I'm being completely practical. But if I wasn't able to have that, then I would probably want to have my bullet journal with me or some sort of notebook and pen, because then I can document my time on the desert island and, track my journeys and adventures. And then also, if I come across new plants and everything, I can write down if they're poisonous or not, or if I should eat them or not, or stuff like that. So I'm going with that answer. Okay, next one. What did you want to be when you grew up? And I switched my preferred career choice so many times. I think the one that I did that stuck with me the most throughout my whole childhood, even though I did change multiple times, was probably Illustrator. I definitely wanted to be a illustrator for majority of my childhood. I don't know if I can call myself an illustrator now, but that is what I wanted to do. I also really, for a good chunk as well want to become a paleontologist because I was obsessed with dinosaurs. So yeah, I switched so much that I don't really know, but illustrator and paleontologist would be my top two out of the things that I wanted to be when I was a kid. So next question is from my little sister, who is absolutely evil because she's given me such hard questions. Okay, so if animals could talk, which would be the rudest? And I don't know. I think if I had to pick out of all the animals that I've seen, I am going to say raccoons. And the reason why I say that is because they're known to like rummage around and like steal things. So I feel like they would be like, mine, and then run off with whatever you had. Maybe. I'm going to go with that, but I don't really know. There's also, cats, but so far I find cats to be quite sweet. So my answer wouldn't really be cats. I'm gonna go with raccoons. What do you guys think? I don't really know. Yeah. I'm going with raccoons. Leave your answer in the description, in the comment section. Okay. Next thing that my evil little sister has asked is, what was the most uncomfortable thing you've had to do out of politeness? And to be completely honest, I don't remember because I have a memory of a goldfish and I've forgotten everything. If I had to think about something that I've done out of politeness that's made me quite uncomfortable, there's only one memory that I can think of, which is when I was in high school and there was a classmate of mine that I wasn't exactly close with, but we were just like acquaintances, and she asked me if I could hold her jacket for her because she had to go do something. And so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm going to be sitting here anyways, doing nothing. I'm not moving from this spot, so come get it from me after lunch finishes. And then after that, lunch was approaching, and like the end of lunch was approaching, and she hadn't come by yet. And so I was getting a little bit awkward, and then lunch had officially finished, the bell had gone. I had like slowly taken my time to go grab my books and everything, but she still hadn't come by yet. And so I had to, after I had grabbed all of my books from my locker and everything, I was holding onto her jacket, and then I think it was like maybe 3 minutes into the next class, like to go to the next class, I was still like holding onto her jacket, like standing near like the front door of our building, just waiting for her to come by so I could give her her jacket so it wouldn't seem as if I had stolen it. So yeah, I ended up giving it back to her. She came eventually, 3 minutes into lunch finishing. But yeah, that's probably the most uncomfortable thing that's happened. I can't think of anything else that would be more uncomfortable than that. I just felt really awkward doing it and just like waiting there. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. I can't think of anything else that I've done out of politeness that's made me uncomfortable. Okay, next question, which is the last question from my evil little sister, which is, what was the weirdest conversation you have overheard ever? And I, again, have a memory of a goldfish and I don't remember anything, so I'm going to see if I can rack my brains for something awkward that I've overheard, which I can think of one, which was also during high school, but in my defense, they were talking very, very loudly, and it was before I had put in my headphones to do some like homework. It was during like a study break type of thing, but I think there was a group of girls and they were talking about their boyfriend and the date they had gone on, and it was getting very, very detailed, and they were talking very loudly, and I was sitting almost right next to them. It was like one of those like study periods where you get assigned a class and you have to go there to do homework or like catch up on work and stuff like that. And the teacher hadn't arrived yet, and I was getting myself organized and prepared, and then they were talking about their date, and it was getting really awkward with the details. So yeah, I ended up putting in my headphones because I was getting very uncomfortable having to like hear that. But once I put my headphones in, it got drowned out, which is good. But yeah, that is the only thing that I can think of for that. Okay. Next question is, where do I get the inspiration from for all the humans, dolls, fairies that I draw in my Bujo cover pages? And this is going to sound like such a dumb answer, but most of it is from my imagination. Once I sort of think of a theme that I want to do, which most of the time just comes to me from like random things that I see around my house or out and about. Or if I'm really stuck, then most of the times I'll type in fantasy aesthetic onto Pinterest and just scroll through until I find something that piques my interest. But that is pretty much it. Most of it is from my imagination, and I just try to go from there. And then if I cannot think of anything that I want to do, then I will go onto Pinterest and find something from there. Because my bullet journal is fantasy themed, so normally I just type in like fantasy aesthetic onto Pinterest, or like fairies, pixies, something like that, and then once something comes up, then I'll just go off of it. But yeah, highly recommend Pinterest if you want to find inspiration, though, if you are stuck for inspiration and stuff like that. How much work is the shop? And all in all, while it is a lot of fun, it is a lot of work. For me, the most time-consuming part is the behind the scenes of designing and illustrating the stickers that I use, because I do everything hand-drawn by me. I draw everything out myself and all of that sort of stuff. So that whole process of the sketch to the finalized sticker design, then putting it into the silhouette software and making it into a sticker, for me is the most time consuming part. But also printing and cutting stickers is very time consuming. All of it is very time consuming, but it is a lot of fun. So hopefully that answered that question. I'm not really too sure. The one thing that takes me a lot of time to do are kits, because if you have decided to do everything yourself in terms of artwork, it can be very difficult to figure out everything from scratch and then make it into a cohesive sticker kit. But yeah, hopefully that answered that. It is a lot of work though. And then the last question that I had is, why a sheep, which I've already answered. And the nice thing is that we are approaching the end of the plan with me, so we have pretty much ended on a good note. That was all the questions that I had. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that and it wasn't too rambly or anything. But yeah, hopefully if you guys would like to see another Q&A, or if you want me to answer questions at like the beginning part of my plan with me, let me know and leave a question for that too, if you want that to happen. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun with this spread. It was a lot of fun just trying out something different and all of that. Everything will be listed in the description box for your convenience, and if you have any questions about Pacific stickers, leave them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer those. And that is really about it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!